Well, you mentioned before the founding president of NED, which is Carl Gershman. He once referred to as Ukraine as the biggest prize in the geopolitical struggle between the West and Russia. Now, I was wondering to what extent have these NGOs had a key role in Ukraine, both in terms of, I guess, toppling the government in 2014, but also organizing the government, civil society, media, and the rest of capturing Ukraine after 2014.
Totalizing. The NED is all over Ukraine. They're all over Ukraine, Belarus. In fact, Karl Gershman was on the Belarus side of things. If you recall, in the summer of 2020, the U.S. foreign policy establishment tried to organize a color revolution against Alexander Lukashenko. And Karl Gershman was actually prank called by several people who were holding themselves out as civil society activists. I believe the Gray Zone covered this and has good coverage of this, but you can listen to, I believe it was Karl Gershman on a Zoom call laying out all the ways that NED interfered in Belarus to make those protests happen, to provide support to the various union groups, to the Solidarity Center, to provide support for so-called independent media. That just means independent of our adversary, completely dependent on the National Endowment for Democracy and USAID for funding and direction. And the protesters as well, I highly encourage folks look up that NED Belarus video so that you can listen straight from the horse's mouth about how these things are structured. But NED was all over Ukraine from the 1990s onward, and arguably before that. They were all over the Orange Revolution.